Tombstone, Arizona Territory. The fire of 1882, second worst in the town's history, in which the heart of Tombstone was wiped out. How did it start? Oddly enough, with a wedding. Pop Tuttle could have been married in his own town of Benson, but he had his own good reasons to be married in Tombstone.
Better move to Benson, folks, where life is good.
He's got a lot of drive, old Pop.
Yeah, he's a real live one. He's got more nerve than either one of us. Well, he got married, didn't he?
He's twice her age.
Ooh. Hello, Mansfield. No hard feelings.
Get out of Tombstone, Tuttle, and stay out.
You're going to lose the county seat, too, Mansfield.
Put away the hardware, Mr. Mansfield.
He's a crackpot. A dangerous crackpot.
Well, maybe. But you can't kill him just because he married your girl.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. July 8, 1882. Pop Tuttle had certainly become a controversial character in Tombstone. A truly surprising man.
Tuttle. Hey! Morning, Clay.
Well, certainly didn't expect to see you back in Tombstone so soon.
Why not?
Well, you did just get married. What about a honeymoon?
Had my honeymoon in beautiful Benson, garden spot of the territory, and next county seat.
I thought maybe you might take a week off, show your wife Mexico or the Grand Canyon.
I'll tell you another thing. You young whippersnappers take these long honeymoons, and do you know why?
Oh, well, maybe you better tell me.
Because you want to get out of work, that's why. But not me. I like what I'm doing. Selling furniture to the living and pine boxes to the dear departed.
Well, hello, Pop.
Howdy, Harris.
Congratulations. I hope you'll be very happy.
Thank you. I can't help but be with Grace. She's a hummer. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and young. No more worn-out females for me. My other wife just couldn't stand the gaff. Here's that ad I want you to run.
For your furniture store and funeral parlor?
Nope, they'll take care of themselves. Once I get the county seat away from you fellas here in Tombstone.
I'm not so sure I should print this ad, Pop. Merchants in Tombstone aren't going to like it.
Well, I'm not sure you can refuse. That is, if you want to stay an honest editor. You are one, aren't you?
Benson has the railroad. Benson, the hub of stage routes from Tucson, Fort Bowie, New Mexico, and Texas.
Look, Harris, I got to get back to the office. Just want to say good work. That headline started a lot of talk.
I intended it to.
Baptism of fire. An era in the history of Tombstone that'll never be forgotten. Well, I didn't know you had a fire. I didn't see it from Benson. I didn't hear nothing about it.
That's the last year's headlines. That was before you moved west. I reprinted that account to remind the people what a real danger fire is.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, almost wiped out the town.
Thanks to our inadequate fire equipment.
The Red Terror of Tombstone raged unchecked when our valiant firemen ran out of water. Is that all the water you got in this town? A 7-inch line from the Huachuca Mountains?
Yeah, well, of course we have the reservoir, the storage tank up above town, but that isn't nearly enough to... Now look, Pop.
Here, I'm going to change my ad. I'm inviting everybody who's afraid of fire to move to Benson. Why, we got more water than we know what to do with. Underground river's never been tapped.
Look, Pop, that's pretty strong medicine.
Well, you fellas here in Tombstone will just have to take it. I'll get you a nice big spoon. Yes, sir, this'll do the trick. Now we'll get that county seat. Why, in Benson, we got water to burn. Hey, that's pretty good. Water to burn, while Tombstone burns. You print that instead of...
Harris, get some water in the town.
Easy. Easy.
Grace.
You weren't at my wedding, Howard.
I warned you not to. Why?
He asked me to marry him. Took me away from that. Gave me a name.
A name.
You know I always wanted a name, Howard. But you were more interested in having your name on Tombstone. Well, it just might make you rich.
You made a big mistake.
No. I know what I'm doing, Howard. In Benson, I'm Mrs. R.C. Tuttle. I belong to a club.
You? What kind of a club?
I don't know yet. I've been invited to meet the town women in a home, not a whiskey-soaked saloon.
You won't be happy.
Good day, Mr. Mansfield.
Grace is coming. We better help her get him to a doctor.
No, Grace can't know about this.
Well, now, wait a minute,
Now,
Pop.
boys, you gotta promise me. Not a word about this to anybody. Not about me falling or stumbling or nothing.
Look, Pop, it's all well and good to be proud, but...
I'll be with you in a minute, my dear. Boys, you gotta promise me, especially Grace. She can't know.
All right. If you'll promise that you'll see a doctor.
Of course I'll see a doctor. In Benson. You got better doctors there.
I think you'll like it.
On you, I'd like a corn husk. Would you like to drive? Well, you're my wife now. Got to get some work out of you.
The morning of July 9, 1882.
Well, you think we can talk the city council into voting the money?
We have to. We need that pumper.
It looks kind of like a steam engine.
It's almost what it is. It's a steam pump. Steam from the boiler operates a pump. That thing will throw a big stream of water clear over a 2-story building.
Sure ought to do the job until we run out of water.
I thought you'd be here, Clyburn, since you weren't at the epitaph where you published this filth. What are you, a Benedict Arnold?
Just a minute.
Now, wait a minute. What's this all about?
You know what it's about. Bringing this trash for Tuttle. Telling people to move to Benson because Tombstone's a fire trap.
He's a crackpot. All right, you, Sheriff.
Yes, Mr. Mansfield?
What do you plan to do about this nuisance Tuttle?
Well, I might try to get him a medal.
A medal?
Yes, you see, I think it's a good idea for Tombstone to feel that it might lose the county seat.
What kind of nonsense is this?
Well, now, maybe you'll do something about your town. Back us up.
Clay and I are going before the council to ask for $10,000 worth of new firefighting equipment. $10,000?
That's ridiculous. We'd have to pay for it in taxes.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to fight you and get everybody I know to fight you. What we've got's good enough.
You take a chance on being burned out again for a few tax dollars.
10,000 isn't a few dollars. And if I get burned out, I've got insurance.
Yes, I know that. You're well covered, Mr. Mansfield. But most of the rest of the merchants out there with their board and batten shops haven't got a dime's worth of insurance.
Well, that's up to them.
Most of them can't afford it. After last year's fire, insurance comes pretty high in Tombstone. I think that's pretty cheap protection.
All right. Enough. We may not have much water. We got a dandy jail.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. I'm just trying to wake this town up to the dangers of fire. Citizens of Tombstone. It's no law against me making a speech, is there, Sheriff?
Oh, no, just so you don't cause trouble.
Thank you. Citizens of Benson. 'Cause that's what you'll soon be after I tell you about the garden spot of the territory.
Hold it, old man.
It seems there's a question from the audience.
I warned you to stay out of Tombstone. I'm warning you once more, the last time.
Sheriff said I could make a speech.
Well, I'm not standing by like him and the editor, while a crackpot tries to get the people to move to Benson so you can outvote us for county seat.
It just makes sense, folks. Why not live in bountiful Benson rather than tremble in Tombstone?
Who's trembling?
All of you ought to be. What happens during a fire when you run out of water? It's only a matter of time until Tombstone burns again, like it did last year, maybe worse.
I think he's going too far.
Could be.
Why live in fear? Benson welcomes you. The new county seat.
You'd like to see Tombstone burn, wouldn't you, old man?
Well, if it did, I couldn't help it. Now, could I? Nobody could.
You might just start it burning to get the county seat in Benson. No, partner. Let him come, Hollister. The old goat asked for it. But I'm coming in to get it. Now you're asking for it.
I wouldn't.
I won't forget this, Hollister.
Well, that's good. I tried to hit you hard enough so you'd remember.
It's the last warning, Tuttle. Stay out of Tombstone.
You better get out of town, fella.
Well, I guess we are a little bit outnumbered now.
July 11, 1882. True to his word, Howard Mansfield had not forgotten the beating dealt him by Clay Hollister. There was bad blood, and it was boiling.
Hello, Clay.
Oh, Grace.
I just drove in from Benson. Mr. Tuttle doesn't know. Things look bad.
Yeah, they look bad here, too.
The people are really up in arms about the way Tombstone treated Mr. Tuttle. They might do anything.
Such as?
Some of them have been drinking, you understand.
Yeah, some of them been drinking here, too.
They want to march on Tombstone.
And?
There's even talk of setting fire to the town.
That's great. That's all I need. A civil war, killings, a fire, and all because of Mr. Tuttle and Mr. Mansfield.
I tried to calm Mr. Tuttle down, but he's a proud man. He said he's going to continue with his campaign and come back to Tombstone. He said the devil with Howard Mansfield.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stop him. Look, Grace, I can't talk to Mr. Mansfield. He won't listen to me. Maybe you can.
No. No, Clay, not that.
He was once in love with you. Maybe he still is. And he's the only one that's keeping this feud alive. He might drop it for you. Now, look, I know it's a lot to ask, but you don't want to see Tuttle dead, do you? And if they get liquored up and fire this town, well, just last year, 66 shops were wiped out. $175,000 worth of property damage. They could estimate that. But they couldn't put a price on the lives that were lost.
All right. I'll talk to him.
Yes, Mrs. Tuttle?
Howard, I came to talk to you about Mr. Tuttle and the people in Benson.
Yes, Mrs. Tuttle.
They're angry, Howard, dangerous. They may come to Tombstone, and there's talk of fire.
Fire? You're his wife. Why did you come to warn me?
Well, there are a lot of people to think about.
You never used to think of other people. Only us. Yes, Mrs. Tuttle?
You don't have to keep calling me Mrs. Tuttle. I'm not Mrs. Tuttle. Not really. Can't we leave, Howard? I made a mistake. I want what we had.
Yes, we can leave as soon as I straighten out my affairs here.
Oh, can't we leave now, fast, before I...
Before you change your mind?
I won't change my mind. But it'll be a lot easier for everyone if we leave fast. I'll pack and leave as soon as you say.
Leave him tonight.
Tonight.
It won't take me long to straighten out my affairs here in Tombstone. I think Tombstone's had its day already.
Grace!
I'm leaving, Mr. Tuttle. I was coming by the store to tell you.
The night of July 11, 1882. Fire. The Red Terror had again struck Tombstone, this time with helping hands. Every volunteer firefighter was the sure knowledge that our so-called fire wagon was inadequate.
That Tuttle, he swore he'd smoke us out. My whole mercantile business gone. I say we go to Benson and smoke out Tuttle.
I say we hang him.
All right, hold it. There's not going to be any lynching. Besides, you got no proof. How much proof do you need?
Wait a minute.
Grace, where's Pop?
I left.
And that's why Tuttle sent his men from Benson to burn me out.
I still say we ought to hang him.
And I still say hold it.
Where is he?
He's dead.
He's dead?
When I told him, he just died.
Where?
Back home.
I think you better tell us about it.
He was a good man. But it's always been Howard. Don't you understand?
Go on.
We planned to leave, Howard and I. And I told Mr. Tuttle. When I told him, he just looked at me for the longest time. And he fell to the ground. He didn't say a word. He just died. I wish he'd said something. But what I said killed him. I killed him.
No, Grace, you didn't know. He was a very sick man.
I could have told him I was going on a trip. But I did the right thing, didn't I? Telling him I was leaving. Telling him the truth.
Call me when the water comes. Don't do it. Put him on the bar. Now move back to the stairway. Give me your right hand. All right, stick yours through here. Hey. Don't leave town. You might just as well throw those insurance papers in the fire, too, for all the good they'll do you.
What do you mean?
Well, Tuttle didn't start that fire. And the only people in Tombstone who aren't fighting it are you and those two apes at the bar.
Well, that doesn't prove anything.
You better pull the dock off the fire line.
Yeah, and we still got a fire to fight.
Keep an eye on it.
Saw the flames on the road to Benson. She's all loaded up with water.
Well, Pop, we thought you would...
Oh, nothing's gonna happen to me. Not while there's a good county seat war going on. Let's go fight that fire.
Mansfield doesn't like my jail. Guess he won't like Yuma prison either.
Well, the boys have soaked the other buildings. If the wind doesn't blow up, the rest of Tombstone is safe.
Well, I guess we better be getting back to Benson, Mrs. Tuttle.
Are you sure you want me to after this?
Everybody's entitled to one mistake. I made 3 before I married you. Of course, it's up to you to decide.
Do you want me to drive, Mr. Tuttle?
I wish you would.
Oh, it's all right if I leave the water wagon on the street for a day or two just to advertise Benson? Yeah, thanks. And remember, gentlemen, when it comes to a vote, let your conscience be your guide.
What are we going to do about that man?
Well, there's only one thing to do. Elect him mayor of Tombstone. Then maybe we'd get that equipment.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me